it's never over until it's over. So if you have the goals for the month of May, there's still today, tomorrow, Saturday to achieve the goals that you set for yourself. The session I want to take you today is two things. One is called building structure, and the other one is personal development or sharpening the soul, self-improvement. Let me just set the slideshow. All right. Why do we need to build structure? Remember, most people, if not all, okay, maybe some people join the business just to buy products at a discount. Most of us join this business to make money. That means we invest a little bit of money at the beginning of the business, and then the next thing we do is we invest sweat equity. That means just hard work. As a friend of mine calls it, water and salt, sweat equity. So why is it important to understand structure? It's important to understand structure so that we can maximize the profits or maximize the amount of money we earn from the business. If you're new in the business, please get hold of the compensation plan booklet and go through it step by step to understand how to maximize what New Life offers in terms of bonuses and commissions. That's why it is important to develop structure. New Life uses a compensation plan called breakaway system. It means that you can sponsor as many people as you want to, and as they grow to become directors, they move out of your nursery. That means they don't help you qualify with the 4,000. You need other people to help you qualify with the 4,000. That is why it's important to build structure. Now, what is the basics of our business? The basics of our business is three things. That is the income producing part. One is using the products. We all need to use the products. Two, we need to retail the products. That means the people who are not interested in the business become our customers. Because they're not registered, they can't buy from the company, they buy through us and make a profit. The third part is sponsoring. That means you introduce other people to the business and you help them become successful. You hold their hand and you guide them how to become successful. You don't do for them what they can do for themselves. You help them to do what they are not able to do. So retailing products in brief. One, you need to have product knowledge. Number two, listening to customers. Three, keeping in touch with them and getting to know your customer. What about sponsoring? Sponsoring, I've got 5 steps. One, build a name list of prospects, the people you want to show the business. Number two is preparation, to prepare your mind. Number three, inviting correctly to show the business. Tell your story and show the plan, and then the last part is to follow up to close. That is the income producing activity. But now let's look at how to build your structure. It's important that you actually need to have a picture of your business on paper. That makes it easy for you to focus your attention. The first thing we need to do is go wide. What does that mean? Go wide simply means the people you sponsor directly under you. We suggest that in the beginning, when you start the business, you need to sponsor 2 to 3 people monthly until you're for about 12 to 14 wide. Why is that important? Because out of the 12 to 14, you're only going to get 3 or 4 legs that you're going to work with. That is, out of this 12 to 14, only 3 to 4 will be serious with the business. This is what the figures that have been around for the last 50 or 60 years. So identify the people you can work with, the legs that you want to build a taproot. A taproot simply means you pay attention to the newest person in each leg to build them. The third step is identify listeners. Who are listeners? These are people who seek your attention, who seek information from you, who seek your advice and want to follow your lead. These are the listeners, and these are the people who eventually become duplicators. Listeners are people who follow your guidance, people who attend training, people who are listening to tapes, who are reading books. These listeners, because they listen to you all the time, they begin to do what you do. These are called duplicators. These duplicators, eventually, you need to find 4 duplicators in each leg so that they can become directors. And what is the goal? The goal is to have 4 directors in each leg. And that is what gives your business stability. If you have 4 directors in each leg, what that means is that each leg that has 4 strong directors will qualify 12 months out of 12 in a year. So the first thing is to build width. Once you've built width, the next thing is to build depth. What does building depth mean? Building depth means, in this example, let me say you sponsored 6 people. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people. These 6 people you sponsored, remember, you need to help them also sponsor others. In this example, you help 1 to sponsor 2 people. You help 2 to sponsor 2 other people. So in that leg, you will have 6 people. So initially, go 6 wide and 3 deep. And the reason you need to go 3 deep, because once you go very, very deep, you begin to lose influence in the people in your team. You can influence your immediate downlines and the second level and the third level. But going 4th, 5th, and 6th, you can only influence the ones who seek your help. That means somebody who seeks you out for advice so that they can grow. So go wide until you find 3 legs to work with. And those 3 legs, the idea is to go 12 deep. And once the reason you need to go 12 deep, remember, think about this structure as a tree. The deeper the roots of the tree, the more stable the tree is, and the stronger it is able to withstand the wind. The third thing about building structure, remember, focus on what duplicates, not what you can do. Why is that important? Because let me say you're very, very good in sales and you're able to do 1,000 personal PV or 2,000 personal PV. Not everybody in your team is able to duplicate that. But 100 PV, 150, 200, you can do with not so much stress. So focus on what duplicates. That means make the business very simple that people in your team can do what you do. And you need to keep sponsoring always by doing what? Doing the 4 basics. Write a name list, contact and invite, show the plan, and follow up. Those are the 4 things that helps you to sponsor people in your business. So keep sponsoring because the people in your team are going to outgrow you. What does that mean? Let me say I sponsor John. John is very excited. He starts building his team. Eventually, John will become a manager, senior manager, executive manager, and eventually he will become a director doing 4,000 PV. If John was the only person you sponsor, it means that you cannot use John's PV to qualify as a director. You need to sponsor other new people in the business. That is why you need to keep doing the 4 basics. Name list, invite, show the plan, follow up. Name list, invite, show the plan, follow up, until you sponsor new people. Another important thing in building what duplicates is develop the right attitude. This is done by reading good books constantly. This helps you to be more, to develop leadership because people in your team are looking towards you as a leader in the business. Another thing to help you duplicate is aim at discipline, not motivation. Why is that important? This business has got ups and downs. When you're new, you're very excited. When you get the first no, the second no, the third no, the motivation goes down. If you work only when you feel motivated, when you feel down, it means your business is not growing. So you need to aim at discipline, not motivation, because motivation is not permanent. Discipline is what keeps, motivation starts you on the journey to success. Discipline is what keeps you on the path to success. Okay, and then keep your eyes on the future. Why is that important? Because if you put your eyes on what you're going through, it's going to discourage you. You need to keep your eyes to where you're going to instead of what you're going through. That's very important because it's very easy when you look at the challenges. You've spoken to 10 people, nobody's interested. You've got very low PV. The month end is coming. It's quite easy to be discouraged. But you need to look at the future. Where are you going with the business? What is your dream? That is why it is very important in this business. You need to have very clearly defined goals written down with dates on it. That is what will keep you doing the business, even when things are difficult. Okay, so let me just summarize again building structure. Number one, you need to go wide. That means sponsor as many people as possible within 2 to 3 months so that you have 3 to 4 legs to build a taproot. What is a taproot? A taproot is the newest person in each leg. This is the person who actually feeds your entire leg. If you've got somebody you've sponsored, they're not very excited. They sponsor somebody who's not very excited. They sponsor a third person deep and is very excited. The excitement of that new person will cause the others also to get excited. So pay attention to the taproot. Then, as you build your business in these 3 to 4 legs, identify listeners, people who take advice, people who attend trainings, people who listen to what you say. These listeners will eventually become duplicators, that is, people who do what you do. Then, in each leg, identify 4 duplicators. That means find 4 people in each leg who pay attention to what you do. They attend training, they ask you questions, they come for every meeting, they go to conventions. These duplicators eventually become directors, and if you have 4 directors in each leg, you have a very stable business. You can sleep very well. Initially, if you sponsor 6 people, out of these 6, maybe you'll get 2 to 3 who are very serious. So initially, go 6 very quickly wide, and each of those legs go deep. As you build depth, eventually volume will start to pick up in your business. The third element, focus on what duplicates. That means make the business as simple as possible and teach your people to do what you do. Develop the right attitude and concentrate on discipline, not motivation. Aim at discipline, not motivation. 4, keep your eyes for the future and don't pay attention to, you see, our brain is designed to keep us safe. When you do something which is unfamiliar, our mind tends to look for ways not to do it. Why? Because it causes a bit of stress. Then you know you are growing. So pay attention to what the future looks like. Now, let's look at personal development. This is sharpening the soul. 3 things I want to mention about personal development or investing in yourself. The first is gaining knowledge. In fact, there are 3 steps: knowing, doing, and being. What is that? Knowing is accumulation of knowledge that helps you to build a business. You need to know the marketing plan. You need to go through the getting started document. You need to know how to invite, how to build a name list, how to present the business, how to follow up, how to get new people started. That is the knowledge. But that knowledge is not useful until you put it in practice. So you need to start doing what you are learning, what you know. That is called building the skill. So the first thing is knowing. The second thing is doing. The more you do what you need to do, you become very proficient, and that leads to being successful. Okay? So, keys to success. The first is attitude. The reason why you are doing something. And this comes from reading constantly, listening to good books, and keeping good company. Show me your friends, I will show you your future. Go back after this training, write down the list of 5 people you spend your time with. Those are the people who will determine where you're going to reach in 2 years or in 5 years. So develop a good attitude. 2, develop the skills, learn how to do the business, how to prospect, how to do the basics, how to build structure, and how to lead a team. Skill is very important. Apart from knowing, you need to know what to do, how, and that leads to being. So, attitude, skill, then building knowledge. Knowledge about the products, compensation plan, the policies and procedures. Know yourself, know what your dreams are. When you do this, you will find that your confidence begins to grow. I want to recommend that you need to read different types of books to build yourself up. Number one, read books that has to do with network marketing. The best books I can recommend, one is called the 7 Skills on How to Become a Professional Network Marketer by Eric Worre. That's the best book I have read in our industry. I've read about 10 different books, but that's the best one I've read that teaches you a step-by-step procedure on how to acquire those skills. Number two, you need to read books that help you with dealing with people. The best I can recommend is called How to Win Friends and Influence People. It's a classic book written in 1937. It's an excellent book. If you want books on how to show you how to sell products, a book written by Frank Bettker is called How I Raised Myself from Failure to Success Through Selling. It's a book also written in 1937. Excellent book. Very, very good book. Then you need to read books about human psychology on how success, Think and Grow Rich is at the top of the list. So those are books that help you to develop different parts of your personality or different parts of the business. How to do the business, how to relate with people, how to sell products. Okay? And then you need to spend time, as Betty said, exercise. Why is that important? It's in fact, I'll give you a simple a story. Last week, I normally like going for a brisk walk or going to jog very early in the morning or exercise. But I went for a walk, and when I was coming back, we have a neighbor, an old man, and every morning when I used to run, I would see him running. He runs very slowly. But last week when I saw him, he was very slow, very deliberate. And I could see the pain that he was going through jogging or walking. And that gave me an idea, or that gave me a thought that I really need to pay attention to my exercises, nutrition, and rest very well, so that just watching him is painful to watch that guy, because the last time I saw him, he looked quite well. He's an old man, but this time he was really struggling to run. That gave me an idea that I need to pay attention to my health. I need to pay attention to nutrition. I need to pay attention to exercise so that I keep myself fit. So reading, exercise, rest, then building relationship with people, very, very important for your personal growth. And remember, you're going to be paid the amount of money in your life according to who you are, not according to what you want. Your income is directly related to your personal development. This is a rule that nobody has been able to violate. So if you think you need to earn more money, just build yourself more. Jim Rohn says, work harder on yourself than on the business. You will see your business will begin to pick up. You're going to meet the right people to help you grow your business. That's how you need to grow the business. First, by growing yourself. So invest in yourself. Buy one book a month, even one book in 2 months, and read. If it's a good book, read it over and over and over again until you make the contents of that book part of your personality. So invest in yourself. I was listening to a presentation by Peter Daniels. The average American read less than one book a year. If you read a book for 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes every day, after 1 year, you will have read 20 200-page books. And that will put you ahead of most people in the business. So pay attention to your self-development, invest in yourself, read more, gain more knowledge, because remember, you are a leader of your group and people look up to you for guidance. So ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank all of you very much for spending time with Betty and myself this evening to share with you some of the things that I think is going to help you grow your business. If you're new in the business, get back to your sponsor. They'll guide you on how to grow the business. If you're old in the business also, get to do the basic things we do every day and your business will grow. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you very much for spending this time with me and Betty. Johnson Kwamwenda is asking where you can get these books. Johnson, I'm not sure where if you're in Nairobi, if you walk on the streets of Nairobi along Kenyatta Avenue, you will find these books. In fact, I buy most of my books when I'm in Nairobi. I find them much cheaper than in South Africa. So spend time, spend a little bit of money. The books in Nairobi cost you between 400 and 600 shillings. I think that is worthwhile. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Good night and God bless.